Well, hello, and I'm back today, bringing you an extra special book haul. When I first decided to join BookTube, I checked out all the booktubers that have books of their own, because I, too, if you didn't know, am writing a book. I want to preface this by saying most of these books I haven't read yet, so this isn't a recommendation as much as it's just a book haul. The first book I want to bring up is one that you might be surprised to hear I haven't read already, and that's Insurgent. I read Divergent like a year or so back, and I really enjoyed it, so I just now got around to picking up the sequel. The next book on my list is the sequel to the book Proxy, which I read at the same time as I read Divergent, and I also really enjoyed. It's a fast-paced, like, dystopian... Yeah, I'm terrible at describing books. But I picked up the sequel to Proxy, which is Guardian. So I want to take this moment right now to, voice my aggravation on covers not matching, but... I guess we'll let it slide. The next book I picked up was by a favorite author of mine. He wrote the Chronicles of Vladimir Tod, which I read the heck out of when I was in middle school, so I picked up his newest work, The Blood Between Us. Another book by Zach Brewer, aka Heather Brewer, is Cemetery Boys, and this one was actually really great. I've read it already, and it's a pretty good horror story. It's about a kid who lives in a small town, and strange things are happening with these, otherworldly creatures that no one else seems to, recognize. So, I mean, if you're into horror, I think, you won't be disappointed. I don't know if I mentioned yet during the haul that, all these books were on sale. I couldn't resist a sale, you guys, as I'm sure you're gonna find out. The next book in my book haul is The Rules by Nancy Holder and Debbie Weig? I've read a couple books by Nancy Holder, mostly when I was in middle school, but I thought I'd give this one a try because it looks like grade A/movie real estate. The next two books I picked up, I heard a lot about, and they recently released a movie for one of them, so I went ahead and picked up The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. If anybody else has read this, without spoilers please, would you let me know what you thought in the comments below, and if I should continue on with the series, because I did pick up The Infinite Sea, and I'd like to know what I'm getting into. The next book I picked up was More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, because I'm writing a contemporary about a character who struggles to find her own happiness, so I thought this one would be right up my alley. Along with I'll Give You the Sun by J.N.D. Nelson, because this one has been floating around BookTube for a while, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, so I couldn't really pass this one up. My next two books are books written by music artists that I really enjoy, otep. And she makes, this crazy, epic, tribal, heavy metal, rap, hip-hop music stuff. It's pretty epic, though, so you should totally give it a listen. The first book I picked up by her was The New World Order, which is a book of poetry, and it even includes the poem Crawling Up, which was on her last album, Generation Doom. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then the next book I picked up by her is None Shall Sleep, which is about some sort of vigilante justice in a savage world, for a lack of a better way to describe it. The next book I picked up was Anything Could Happen by Will Walton. And I actually already read this book, and for what it is, I really enjoyed it. I'll bet it's a little bit slow, but it kinda gets away with it. Next up, Beyond the Red by Ava J. Her channel is The Bookish Pixie, and she gives such great writing advice all the time, so I totally had to check out her book when it came out. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my TBR, so I'm super excited to get into this one. I might even do a review for it when I finish it, so let me know what you guys thought if you read that one. The next book I picked up was by booktuber Kristen Martin, and it's The Order of Omega, which is the second book in her trilogy, The Alpha Drive. The book I picked up was Children of Eden by Joey Graceffa, and I used to watch his videos a lot when I was in middle school, but not as much anymore. But still, when I heard that he put out a book, I had to check it out. The next book is Business for Authors by Joanna Penn, from the Creative Penn. Her channel I'll also put in the description. All the booktuber channels will be in the description, if I didn't say that already. As you can see, this book was super useful, and I've already bookmarked the heck out of it, because I totally read this as soon as I got it, because I love this author that much. The books that she writes that I like even more than this one are her thrillers, which she describes as Dan Brown meets Lara Croft, and if you don't know me, I freaking love Tomb Raider. Not reboot Tomb Raider, but classic Tomb Raider when it used to be cool. And that's exactly what these books remind me of. Tomb Raider if she worked for a university and were still cool. This book follows Morgan Sierra as she teams up with the Arcane Institute to research and uncover, like, ancient mysteries and artifacts, usually based in religion. And this is the second book in the series, Crypt of Bone, and I have already read it, and it was freaking awesome, and I can't wait to get the third book in this series. The next book on my book haul is Architects of the Gifted, The Scarlet Reaper by Cameron Cross of Wolfshot Publishing. I'll link his channel down below also. This story follows Carter as he joins like this ragtag group of new friends to rescue the love of his life, Scarlet, from a nefarious villain before he can fulfill his evil plans. This wraps up my new to BookTube book haul. If you've read any of these books, make sure to leave a comment in the description below and let me know how well you liked them. Or let me know if I should avoid some like the plague. But, until next time, catch you on the flip side. Book haul. Words, David. You need to use your mouth to make them. Yeah, I'm terrible at describing things. Oh my god.